Well, good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Senior Footy Show. And we've got 2 rounds to go in the Hampden Football Netball League. And what a season it has been so far. I'm really looking forward to this final series too. It's going to be pretty exciting. As I say, very good evening to the legend himself in Trinity Hill. Hilly, how are you, big fella?
Go well, mate, and great to have you back on deck. You've bronzed up after a nice little sojourn over to Bali, big fella, so you're looking refreshed and ready to go for a big 6 weeks coming up.
Mate, little mid-season break just to refresh and recharge the batteries, and might I add to Bali, just get back there. It's absolutely sensational. The weather's just magnificent over there. It's a beautiful part of the world. And the Balinese are just so happy to see everybody. It is. It's just brilliant, and they rely so much, obviously, on
tourism dollars. Yeah.
You know, so just make sure get over there and get amongst it and have a bit of fun and see a bit of sun, Hilly.
Yeah, good on you, mate. And I did see a little video online that you gave one of our great sponsors, Miss Kit, Jodie Lowe, at her birthday over there, and a little bit of embarrassment there for her while they were singing the song and that.
I think she got about 3 or 4 of them over the course of the week too. So good fun, that is for sure. Hey, listen, lots to get through, lots to talk about, and there's plenty going on. As I touched on, Hilly, we're not too far away from a final series. Grand final day, of course, is a massive day. It's going to be at the Reed Oval, of course, the home of football now. That surface is absolutely magnificent, and looking forward to the grand final day. And as part of grand final day, you can't have a Hampden League grand final without the Warrnambool Toyota $5,000 kick into the back of the unbreakable Hilux. And Paul Goff from Warrnambool Toyota has been kind enough to join us, one of the wonderful sponsors of the Hampden Football Netball League. And Goffy, I don't know about you, mate, but this kick just gets me pretty excited.
I think it's great, Matty, to be honest. We're very proud to be associated with the kick and the Hampden League and following on with Toyota's Good for Footy programs. And we look forward to it every year. I'd like to see Burjo have a shot this year, though. I don't reckon you've ever convinced him to have a kick yet, mate, so you're going to have to lift your game on that.
Now, do you know what? I reckon I've actually asked him 5 or 6 times, Goffy, and every year he's got an excuse. It's either the shoes aren't right, or I've got a sore calf, I've got a sore hamstring. But seriously, I think you are spot on, and, you're one of the dealer principals out there as well. You make the decision right now. Is Matty Burgess going to have a kick for $5K for charity? Surely, yes.
I think we should pull on the string about, the charity and the fact that Warrnambool Toyota are the major sponsor for the kick. I reckon we can convince him to do it. If he stuffs it up, then we'll all have a bit of a laugh at him, can't we?
Hey, Goffy, as you said, it's synonymous with the Hampden League Grand Final. We've had so many memorable moments too, and one that stands out for mine was the Brad Otten's kick where he landed in the back of the ute. We've had some great AFL players or retired players come down. Has there been one year that's been one of your favourites to witness?
I think there was quite a few, Hilly, to be honest. I remember a couple where we were practice shots the day before and some of the guys were just kicking them in from everywhere. I think from a personal note, the most embarrassing one was when Brownie was down one year and he had a kick and I followed him up with a kick, but I had some dress shoes on was my excuse and I dribbled the bloody thing along the ground. not a good look, but I think they're all being...
We might have just...
Earlier, we're very proud to be associated with it. Sorry, Matty.
Yeah, we just might have just lost you there for a little bit, mate. But it's wonderful for you guys. It is a great sponsorship. You've been involved from day dot with the $5,000 kick. It is absolutely sensational. And, Goose Maguire, Geordie Lewis, there's been so many over the years.
Paul Chapman.
Chappie had a kick, that have just... and when you talk about highlights, Goffy, my highlight was the great former Premier of Victoria, Dennis Napthine, who, to be honest, he could not kick over a jam tin. Big fella. He kicked it about 5 metres, I reckon, old Den.
I reckon you gave him about 35 metres head start on everyone else as well.
Hey, Goffy, the key is too, so buckets will be out into the towns. For people to enter into this year once again. And we will be drawing out 8 to 10 possible contestants. We always drag a few more out on the day too for a bit of fun. So it is going to be absolutely magnificent, mate.
And very much look forward to it. All we've got to do now is just ensure that we have a Hilux that we can put up there for the ground.
Well, that's probably the thing, mate, because it's hard to get vehicles at the moment, isn't it, Goffy?
Yeah, it is. It is. We've earmarked one, and it's basically not allowed to be sold. So we're keeping it just for this purpose.
Hey, Goff, I want to ask you, obviously, with the connection with the AFL and Toyota and so forth, in previous years, as we spoke about, you usually are able to get a special guest. Is there any chance of getting a special guest for this year's kick, or...?
Not sure, Hilly. I know we've been trying. Unfortunately, being finals, it's always a little bit more difficult to try and get someone down. But that's still a work in progress at this stage, mate. But if we can, we will.
Yeah, mate, what about the super duper deals out there at Warrnambool Toyota, big fella? What do you got for our viewers here on the Senior Footy Show, mate? You got something that, they might be looking to get into a new or a used motor vehicle?
We've always got some pretty good deals going. As you said earlier, Matty, the issue at the moment is supply. We've actually got 7 cars in stock for sale at present, which is the best it's been for nearly 2 years. So we've got Klugers that we can get. We've got a couple of Hiluxes in the single cabs, which we've got here at the moment. But just give us a call. It is difficult with the supply issues that everyone's facing at the moment, but if you want a vehicle in the next 12 months, I'd just suggest come in and see either Matty or myself, and we'll put the order in and we'll do our best to get it to you.
Absolutely fantastic. No, it's great to have them on board once again, Stewie. It's just one of my favourite parts of the grand final.
Yeah, great sponsors, great supporters of the Hampden Football Netball League, to be honest. Burjo, Goffy, Big Harrow and the crew, they do a magnificent job. And no doubt, Goffy, yourself and Burjo, mate, will be pinning the ears back at the sponsors function too, mate. Always one of the highlights of your year, big fella.
Definitely. Always enjoy a couple of hours watching the game. So I have no doubt we'll see you all there.
Now, listen, don't go anywhere, Goffy, because when you first come on this Zoom today, to be honest, mate, I thought it was Keanu Reeves. You are looking sensational at the moment.
Geez, I say that's giving me a bit of flattery there, Matty. I'll take it on board and keep it, I think. Don't happen very often.
Hey, good to talk to you, mate. Absolute pleasure as always. Well done.
Cheers. Thanks for that.
And make sure you get into Warrnambool Toyota. As I said, great supporter, great sponsor of the Hampden Football Netball League. Have been for a long time. So support those that support you and the leagues and stuff. It's as simple as that, Hilly.
Absolutely. And I read a great article, I think it was in the AFL Record last weekend, with Warrnambool Toyota's connection with North Warrnambool as well. And obviously the importance they've played in the North Warrnambool Eagles. It was even on Hutchie's on the bench on a Saturday morning as well. And I thought it was great recognition for Goffy and Burjo and the team. But, it's not just North Warrnambool they look after, it's the whole region. They're great with their support with all local sporting clubs and community groups. Yeah,
my oath they are. And don't forget the big one too that we announced a couple of weeks ago, McDonald's, another of our great sponsors in the Hampden Football Netball League, one of our major sponsors, major partners. So on grand final day, in the senior footy, if the first score is a goal, a free cheeseburger to every single person in the crowd. So have we worked it out? What, 6,000 or 7,000 going to be there, Hilly?
Now, I want to ask you, how are they going to get, are they going to get tokens? What's sort of how things going to work there? Because I had a couple of friends.
Yeah, ask the question. So what's going to happen? When you walk in the gate, you'll get a ticket, effectively. So it'll be a little ticket. You keep that ticket. Take it down to McDonald's store. That's all you need to redeem it. So a cheeseburger for every single person. If a goal is kicked in the senior footy, it's just going to be so much happening, isn't there?
I love it.
So watch this space. It is going to be absolutely brilliant. So Anthony Nigro and the team at McDonald's, wonderful sponsors, as we said. Now, Hilly, last week, of course, Hampden League Live Match of the Day. I wasn't here, mate. Fill me in. The Roosters looked pretty impressive against the North Warrnambool Eagles.
Mate, they were sensational. I think at the start of the day, they had 9 changes from the week before, the Roosters, but had some really quality players come in. And I guess the really interesting point was, what was the continuity going to be like and the cohesiveness? And geez, they were strong in the first quarter. Kicked 6 goals to, I think it might have been 2, and really led the charge from there. And they had a lot of their great ball winners, Yule and Hussey and Bridgewater, and the ruck gave them first use. They got on top early, and it was really hard for the Eagles to pin them down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the ominous warning, I reckon, for for the rest of the competition, the Roosters. They're just really building, and they get a couple of these kids back, like Archie Stevens, who's obviously a quality player. Will White, of course, who played on the weekend too. He's coming through that NAB League competition at the moment. Lamont Lawal's another one.
Yeah, they've still got another 4 to 5 come back in, including Josh Saunders.
Yeah, so there's plenty of upside. Let's have a look at the highlights, of course, of our Hampden League live match of the day. Up at the Friendly Societies Park, what was the crowd like, Hilly?
Yeah, good crowd, good day up there at the Friendlies. Obviously, both sides are real well represented with their supporter groups and so forth. But Will White kicked the first goal of the day, and it was a beautiful kick, great connection. He's a real live wire and just gives them so much in that forward line. Max Irving, great player. This kid's he's got a few party tricks which are going to cause a lot of issues. Liam Muir was great out of the centre, a nice goal there. And I think, whilst they were really good in the attacking end, Matty, their midfielders really work hard back to defend the footy as well.
Yeah.
And, Parrish wasn't playing, Johnston wasn't playing, and Lewis wasn't playing for the North Warrnambool Eagles. And, Vardy had to take on 2 or 3 every time, but it's just because they were pushing those numbers back. They were rolling back really nicely and just was really squeezing the life out of their entries forward 50 for the Eagles.
What about the Eagles, mate? Where are they at, Hilly, do you reckon? You've seen them a few times throughout the season.
Oh, listen, it's hard to say without their best side. I think with those 3 guys that are real live wires up forward, it certainly changed the dynamics in their forward line.
Nice goal there from Birmingham.
They really struck. Yeah, Birmingham was terrific all day. Was a real sort of, he was a real green light for the North Warrnambool Eagles. But they just like to kick goals. They just didn't have any inside forward 50s. I think Blackie on the stats, South Warrnambool had 14 marks inside forward 50 to the Eagles 4. So they choked him really at the defensive end of the Roosters, and they just had nothing to kick to. Vardy sort of had to take on 3 and just couldn't get clean ball. Great soccer goal there by Ricky Henderson.
He had a good game, didn't he, Hilly?
He did. What I like about Ricky too is I think we get that notion that these AFL guys have got to be stars, whereas I think he really fits into the playing group and plays his role really nicely. He doesn't have to get those 20, 25 possessions and kick 4 or 5 every week. And I really think he's a nice player in their setup. So he was great and takes a good opponent.
Yeah, no, he's a quality player, and he's going to join us on the panel again next week too. He enjoys jumping on here, so he couldn't make it tonight, but he's going to join us next week, he assures me. Nice mark taken there by Shannon Becks, who looks like he's hitting a bit of form. There's Henderson again, of course, wearing the long sleeve. Joey McKinnon for the North Warrnambool Eagles, always a solid play, been playing a lot up forward this year. Jackson Grundy, he's one of the most improved in the competition. He's had a wonderful season, kind of playing through that wing half forward role this year in season 2022.
Yeah, been a live wire. Harry Lee was adjudged our Matthews Petroleum Player of the Day. The boys just sort of thought from a defensive effort. We always give the notice to, I guess those midfielders and goal kickers, but the boys loved the way that Harry Lee worked, so he got our best on ground. Archie Stevens got the 2 votes, and the 1 vote, I can't remember.
I can't help you, big fella. I certainly can't. But that is the Pit Stop Menswear MVP Award, of course, too, and another wonderful sponsor of the Hampden Football Network.
Very, very close.
Now, we're not going to release it either, so it is under lock and key until Maskell Medal Night, and a bit of an announcement with the Maskell Medal too, of course, with it going to be an online show, which will be out of these studios, I'm pretty sure, Hilly, so we'll have a bit of fun with that.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
It'll be brilliant, and who knows, we might be able to send some people around to all the clubs, so we can chime in there and have a bit of a chat with the winners. Still a little bit to play out there, but I think it's going to come together very, very well too.
What I love about it is the clubs get a chance to fundraise for another time,
that's
if
right.
you know what I mean. Like
a bit of a shindig.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Like I just feel
it is an effort to get to a day on a Sunday. That
for sure. If you're a preliminary finalist, always hard to get those numbers in the next day. Portland, Hamilton, it's a fair drive for them. Cobden, Camperdown as well, because it's in Warrnambool. Yeah. I just love it. They can have it at their clubs. It's near home, and the clubs get to make a few extra dollars. Yeah,
my oath. It is absolutely a great idea for mine as well. Hey, listen, Lucas Brothers Snag of the Day, can you remember that one?
I left post-game because I went down to the footy and took the young bloke down to the Cats. So
it looks like Birmingham kicked a really nice snap goal there.
Yeah, he did. That didn't win it. It was Maxie Irving, actually. He kicked a beautiful goal against the breeze. That was a real nice one. And Shannon Becks took our Macco Hire highlight of the day, took a really nice contested mark. He was a high flyer and had a great game, Shan.
Yeah, absolutely sensational. And don't forget they're doing the ensuites, the portable ensuites at Matco High. Tractor Smith and the team, so get in there and see Tractor, and they'll certainly look after you, that is for sure. And Lucas Brothers, we know they are the best in the business on the corner there of Banyan Street. You can't miss them. They do a magnificent job.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah.
The great Alan Blackburn won the raffle at South Warrnambool on the
First
weekend.
time ever. 10 years.
Ticket number 38770, and you know what he won? A $50 voucher to Lucas Brothers Butchers.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you won't get any of it either. He'll be not sharing that, the big fella. Well done. I reckon we've won about 20 raffles over the journey. And
never collected.
We don't even know. We're just too busy. But yeah, good stuff. Now listen, Southwest Tool of the Week, Paddy Lane and the crew out there, they are another wonderful sponsor. I've got something a little bit special here. Have a look at this, Hilly.
Who was this?
Paulie Pekin from the Commons, doing his very best. Ed Sheeran. Have a look at him. Have a look at the little champ. Even calling for the crowd. So, Paulie,
I love it.
you have been absolutely stitched up, and you've been stitched up by your coach, mate, Dan Casey. So, big case, flick that through to me. I've been sitting on it for a couple of weeks, Hilly. But, Paulie, you are our Southwest Tool of the Week, big fella. $50 voucher coming your way. So, Hilly, I want you to post that on our socials too, mate.
I will.
That is absolutely magnificent. So, we do call him the Ed Sheeran lookalike.
And he's lived up to his name.
He has delivered. Hey, magnificent. Listen, our match of the day this weekend, we are heading up to Hamilton. Melville Oval, it's the Hamilton Kangaroos taking on the Camden Magpies. I'm expecting this to be a really good game of footy.
Yeah, two sides are very the same, I guess, Matt, in regards to list, I guess, age and so forth. You know, very similar where they are ladder position-wise and that as well. And I think both sides will just want to finish the season on a high. And if they can finish on a high, gives a bit of momentum into next year. So Hamilton always hard to beat up at Melville, so I think Hamilton get the job done. But in saying that, Camperdown's best is certainly good enough as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute ripper too. We were hoping to get the hammer Hamish Waldron on, but he's just busy tonight, so unfortunately we could not join him. But he's going to join us on Saturday in the pre-game, of course, which we're really looking forward to. Port Fairy taking on Warrnambool, obviously. We've all heard about. We knew what happened last week with Port Fairy. Really unfortunate situation for all involved. All accounts, they're back this week, which I think is great. So they take on the Blues. Good on them, and good to see them out there.
Can I just say a big shout out to Noel Black? He jumped on Hampden League Live on Saturday and was really open, forthright with the communication with what was happening with the club. And I just thought, obviously after a really tough week and to be going through and having a chat to us, I thought it was terrific. It was sort of just probably allayed any questions that were out there, and it was really, really good. So great to see the Seagulls will get a side back up and running. Unfortunately, I don't think they'll get the job done, but I think it's just great to see them getting back on the park. And let's just hope, they can get 4 or 5 good quality players next year with the young blokes they've got, Shade Licardi and Pollock and these sort of likes.
Dalton.
Yep, Dalton and the like. I've actually got a good little story about Shade that I'll share on Saturday on Hampden League Live. A really good background. I had measures from his uncle, and it's a great story from where he's come from and how he's sort of got into his footy.
Awesome. Absolutely love it, mate. Portland taking on Koroit. Had a bit of a, just punching a little bit the Tigers the last 4 or 5 weeks, haven't they?
Well, I'll tell you what, you wouldn't have thought they'd drop against Camperdown and obviously the Taringa Mortlake Bloods, but I'll tell you what, it probably just shows you how good Taringa are going at the moment as well. Their second half of the season's been terrific. So, the Tigers, they've got 2 hard weeks to finish Koroit and obviously South Warrnambool in the last round. So,
there's every chance they might. They could have lost. What will that be? That could possibly be 5 out of the last 6.
Yeah, not great going into finals, that's for sure. So, I know Holt will be working them hard on the track and really, trying to be positive to ensure that the next 2 weeks they give a good performance.
Yeah, my oath, that is for sure. Hey, North Warrnambool Eagles and Cobden. Eagles will be looking to bounce back.
I'll tell you what, not an easy game.
No.
Matty Wines, I think, would be out for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure whether it was hamstring or calf, but it looked hurt. Still got a couple out. Cobden playing some good footy at the moment. Big shout out to Mickey Coronis too, Christian's brother. Debut, kick 7.
He's a big full forward, mate.
Big full forward, played reserves the other week and came out and kicked 7 against the Kangaroos.
Mate, I remember we were speaking to Case pre-game. and kind of just said he's a likely type
Yeah.
that day. And good to see Case chuck him straight in the next week, and he delivered.
Bag 7.
Yeah, magnificent.
So,
Absolutely.
but I think North will bounce back, and it'll probably
Can't
a big
beat
game.
the big forwards, mate. Let's be honest.
Gordon, Coronius,
I
love it.
You need the big power forwards.
But I think with North as well, still a bit of a hot contest between North and Portland in regards to top 3. I think North stay in there if they win it this week, which they probably should.
Yep, absolutely. And our final game, Terran Mortlake taking on the South Warrnambool Roosters.
Roosters.
In a little bit of form, but Roosters, they are playing well.
Well, if they can get back a few extras, Braden Becks, Josh Saunders, just to name a couple. Weir's not far away as well, from what I understand. So,
I actually reckon, big call, I reckon they're the team to beat at the moment. Like, I know the Saints beat them pretty comfortably there about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but there was 4 or 5 kind of late changes that day, and their midfield was decimated. So I reckon the Roosters.
Yeah, I like the Roosters at the moment as well. I think they're certainly in good contention. So I suspect they'll win, but geez, I love what Benny Canar's doing with the Bloods at the moment.
It's good, it's exciting.
The Kane train kicked 9 out of 10 last week.
He's a machine, mate. We absolutely love him on Hampden League Live, and he is in sensational form. We must thank our sponsors, of course, McDonald's, Power Core, Lindock Living. The Pie Night is coming up too. Mickey Maguire, and he is excited. It's going to be a Pie Arvo, I'm pretty sure, in the end. 3YB Coast FM, and of course, SunGold Milk, our major sponsor. And don't forget Southwest Tape, of course, another major partner and sponsor of the Junior Final Series, which has been really magnificent so far. Preliminary final this weekend up at Camperdown's Lura Oval for the kids in the footy and the netball. And the grand final, I don't think they've announced, is it possibly Bushfield or the Reed Oval, I think, for grand final day for those juniors and the junior competition. Hilly, look forward to seeing you this weekend, mate. Little road trip up to Hamilton, to the Melville Oval, to see the Hamilton Kangaroos take on the Camperdown Magpies.